Okay, problem 9 million something. I don't know. I lost count. Anyway, so we got our little vacuum controller, vacuum advance controller. This one's no good. This one's the one that's off of it. So as you can see, I got my little pump here. Pump. Not even holding vacuum. And another thing you can do is you could just take this end and you can suck on it. You know, if you want to suck on it and see if it holds any vacuum, and it's not holding any vacuum. So I went online, the Corvette forum, and there's a guy named Lars on there. He gave me a big old data sheet, and this is the one I came up with. This is the one I'm going to try. It has a it starts pulling vacuum earlier than these adjustable normal ones. So, and you know, because this big cam is only producing 7 to 8 pounds of mercury, and so this one begins let's see, I think it starts pulling around 4 or 5. I could be wrong, I'll have to double check, but anyway, it pulls a lower vacuum. So this should give me better fuel economy, bring down my temperatures and everything else. And then I'm going to recurve my distributor also, so I might get some different springs on there. I'm going to install this first and see what I need to do. So, and then another thing is, once I recurve it, because once this opens up, see how these are kind of light springs, so I don't know if that's even the exact ones, but see, when it's going like that, and then when that kicks in even further, you know, so we're gonna mess with it. But this is giving me 18 18 degrees of, not distributor, of camshaft degrees from my measurements from using my timing light. So I have to redo this with my timing. So once I get this set in there, I'll reset my timing. I'm going to take it down. I've been doing a lot of reading and everything like that, so I need to take my timing back down, and I need to stop this from opening all the way up. So anyway, there's multiple ways to do it from what they're saying. You could put a little spot weld on the ends here, you know, and then grind them back down to where you need to. I seen another person put a screw in there to where when it opens up, it just stops where it needs to. I'm gonna do the measurements and everything later on. Right now, like I said, I'm gonna get this vacuum advance controller put on the new one. So I'm gonna test the new one to see if it's pulling the right amount first, because it's a hit and miss with quality control. So we need to do that first and go from there. All right, I'm gonna try and do this all at once so you can kind of see what happens here. So when I get some vacuum going, you're gonna see this little rod pull. So see it pull in. So that's at 5 pounds. So see how it pulls it in. So this unit is working just fine. So we're going to try this unit. We'll get that installed and go from there. Alright, so really easy to install. I didn't have to take anything off. I just pushed this end down underneath, got the pin in there, and just put my 2 screws back on. So that's all it really is. Really easy change. And so now we'll hook it up and test the timing and see where it goes from there. So see if that helps my idle a lot. So because I'm and that kind of solved my issue. I think this will solve my issue of my initial being so high, because my initial you know, I have it up high, and it's because I had no vacuum to keep my idle at even a decent pull. So this should help my idle a lot. And then now the next thing is I need to go up to total timing 36 degrees. So like I said, 18 degrees here, and you could go a little bit higher, you know, for the meantime to adjust it. So if I take it down to initial 20, and then that should give me 38 initial there. But like I said, I'm going to measure it with my timing light and go from there. So okay. All right, with the new vacuum can in, it doesn't like 18 degrees, doesn't like 20 degrees, doesn't like 22 degrees of initial. Seems like it wants 22. We're sitting at 22 initial right now. So that gives me 40 total, because my distributor puts out 18. So we're going to take it for a test drive and see if it bogs down a little bit. It's right about when I get up into that 4,000 range on the RPM that it starts to bog down a little bit. So I know I got a big cam, but 24 seems like it's just about right. From the wrong diaphragm advanced control unit on the distributor. So Okay, so I'm gonna keep the timing at 24 initial, 42 total time with 18 mechanical. So that seems about right. I'm keeping it right there until I get my spring kit tomorrow. I'm gonna try and put a little bit heavier springs in there, because what's happening is it seems like my timing, my advance is coming in too early at 1,500 RPMs. It seems a little too early for that, so I want a little heavier spring set and test it out and see if that gives me a better response. And yeah, so we're gonna try my little spring kit, see if that works better, and then I'll adjust it from there. I might go up with my initial 1 or 2 more degrees, because you heard with my pull onto the freeway, it was still kind of, you know, a little bit right there in that 5,000 RPM range. It's not bad, but I think it needs to go a little bit more up. I'm going to do the springs first, like I said. And yeah. So another thing, I returned my chrome alternator. It was whining too much, so I ordered a different alternator, another chrome one from a different company, to see if that one's not going to whine. So I put the old one back on. One thing I am noticing, though, is my electronics up front here, my stereo, is glitching out and everything when my alternator is running. When I rewired things, or what I'm thinking is this chrome bracket, actually, the chrome itself is not grounding out very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run another ground from here to the metal and see if that takes care of my little glitching on my stereo. If that doesn't fix my stereo and a few other things, then what are they called? I might need another condenser, but it has a voltage regulator and everything built into the alternator, so I'm thinking I need a better ground. So I'm gonna mess with that to see if I could get a better ground and then go from there. So, but yeah, brakes are working pretty good. Looks nice. You know, the brakes, they stop just as good as the other ones. There was no major upgrade on the brakes. You know, for stopping wise, they feel pretty much the same as the other ones. So, but it does look nicer, prettier, and more reliable for sure. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then when I was taking off my air cleaner, I probably can't see it, but I dented it just a little bit right there. I dropped it. Butterfingers. But no big deal. Who cares? I mean, I can probably tap it out with a slight mallet and everything, but not right now. Not today. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. We're waiting on the spring set to get here tomorrow. I'll go pick up the spring set. I got my new chrome alternator coming in Thursday, so I'm gonna do that on Thursday, and yeah, go from there. But yeah, it's looking really good inside there. I have to admit, this engine's looking nice and clean. I'm not glad. Let's just say, though, I was able to chrome it up, make it look nice compared to before the fire, and getting that new carburetor, you know, really spruce things up, because that's a 770 carburetor. So that makes it a lot nicer. I think that probably improved this little drivability a ton right there. So yeah, it's looking real nice. Got a, looks like just a really nice chrome setup in there. Looking pretty good. So all right, yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna try and, like I said, do the springs, and then after that just tinker with it a little bit and go from there, because I want to drive it a little bit more before it gets too cold. And then maybe I'll start working on these fender flares in about a month or so. So, and we'll get those put on, and maybe get the I'm not going to get different wheels, but we'll get a nice well, I'll get different wheels later on, but for now, you know, later on, but that'll look nice. Maybe I'll just get a different type of spacing bracket to make those wheels look nice and flush. All right, that's all I got for you guys.